Hello, hi, how are you all? Today we have the second episode of the podcast talking about my journey in the Camino de Santiago, taking the Portuguese route. Today I have some notes because it's gonna be talking about why did I choose this route and how did I choose this route. So if you want to know more, continue listening. That's about the Camino and the stuff. I have never heard about it before 2022 and I can't remember how exactly, but I think I was watching some kind of program on the TV and I heard about this Camino. It was like kind of beginning mid-September 2022, and that's when it was like 2 months since I left London. I moved back to Glasgow after spending around probably 7 years in London. Honestly, I wasn't in a very good place in my life at that time. I didn't have a work, I was unemployed, and there was a lot of difficulties in my life. And when I heard about the Camino de Santiago, I was like, yeah, I should do it. Like, it just gave me some time to relax, switch off. And I love walking, and the idea of walking for like 2 weeks, a month, is just something it's actually really interests me because during walking, I just genuinely kind of feel happy, which is probably for everyone, but it just give me kind of peace, relaxation. It just make me kind of figure out what I want to do. It just give me more fresh ideas, stuff like that. At that point, I was like, yeah, that's something good to do. However, I wasn't like kind of at that point able to actually leave the house, let alone going to a foreign country. Walk by myself was kind of winter, going to winter in Europe. So I was like, I'm not sure. And then my brother-in-law, he was like, if you want to go and do it, you need to go now because toward October, some of the routes will close off. Plus, it might be really cold for you to go, and you would need a lot of preparation, stuff like that. So I actually chickened out. I'm not gonna lie. I felt overwhelmed. I felt like I want to do it, but I can't get myself out of the door to do it. So what I have done, I settled down to the idea that I'm not gonna do it now because it's too much pressure, which is something I'm actually trying to run away from. And I was like, I don't think I'm ready to do that. I did actually do a lot of research, stuff like that, but I didn't follow through with the idea. I was like, no, this is definitely something way bigger. I'm not ready mentally, emotionally. Physically is fine, but I was like, I can't do that like at all. It was the idea, like it's a little bit scared me, but also at the same time it was like, yeah, walking by yourself, blah blah, it's just amazing. But to be honest, I couldn't get myself to go, but I settled with the idea. It's not gonna be now, it's gonna be at some point. I did revisit the idea a couple of times since 22. I have never actually took any action or active action toward going. I just spend time googling, researching, and then I leave it. Actually, all that time until 6th of May, 11 p.m. 25. I was speaking with my nephew, with my eldest nephew, and I was saying, like, I'm gonna take a week off from work and I'm gonna go. I'm trying to find somewhere where to go and walk. And all the ways I'm finding in like UK is kind of like 4 or 5 days because otherwise it's gonna be so expensive for a stay. But something in me saying I want to go for like longer. I want to walk for longer. I just want some time to switch off, be with the nature by myself. Don't need anything with me. It's just kind of, I want to figure it out. I want to figure out something. And when I was talking with my nephew, and I was saying to him, I might go to Lake District or something like that, but it's quite expensive. Then I was like, oh, it's like nearing 11 p.m. I want to go to sleep. I'm tired, so let's talk later. And I stood up, was coming to the bedroom when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the Camino. And he was like, yeah, that's a good idea. But I feel like he was like, what does she mean? And I don't know how, and I don't know anything. It's just next day I spoke with the work and they say I want to take 2 weeks instead of one. And I took 2 weeks, and then something inside me like saying, no, you're not gonna do it. You know, when I have talked some of the videos about like we get used to same way of thinking and then it's come like kind of automatically autopilot rather than we stop and we think. So my autopilot is always talking myself out of ideas I want to do, I genuinely don't know. I'm actually brilliant at that, talking myself out. Like genuinely, I could be a CEO for these skills. Like I will have an idea, then I will be like talking myself out of it all the time, very effectively until it's been done. Like I wouldn't do it technically. However, in this Camino, I couldn't talk myself out of it. I genuinely, I don't know if you believe in spiritual stuff. I didn't really like hear a calling like, Fatima, go to the Camino. No, but I heard a calling, kind of something undescribable, like not a physical someone shouting to me to go, but it's from inside my heart. I don't know how to describe it. It's something like, I genuinely don't know how to say it, but I felt like some forces is pushing me gently to do it, not like kind of oof. No, but something is pushing me gently but steadily to do it. I tried to talk myself out of it. One night I was kind of want to bed to go to sleep and I get really panicky. I was like, something bad can happen to you. You're gonna fall. You're gonna, I don't know, injure yourself or like lose your life, stuff like that. And I was actually pretty scared. Like, job done. Next day, woke up, booked the ticket. What? And I was like, I don't know what is happening, but something genuinely pushing me to do it. And at that point, I decide to let go of this old way of thinking, to let go of stopping myself doing stuff I really want to do and talking myself out of it rather than like make my best to make it happen and just go with the flow rather than against the flow, because it's just tiring, to be honest, very tiring when you try to get to walk against the flow. It doesn't flow naturally, basically. And I'm not gonna tap in the what is the lesson learned and the future like episode, but it's just because I'm gonna talk about the lesson learned and stuff like that. But it's just in this moment, like I felt like I genuinely need to let go. I genuinely need to just kind of follow my heart, follow and be spontaneous, which I'm usually are. But I don't know, I keep saying I don't know, but it's just I decided to go. And when I said at the beginning of the episode, like I'm gonna talk about why I chose this road and how, I didn't choose it. The road chose me. I didn't know how I reached that I need to do Portuguese. I looked at doing from Tui to Santiago, which take like 5 days. It's the last 100 kilometer. And I posted somewhere on the Facebook groups of the Camino that I'm having 2 weeks. I'm gonna go from Tui to there. What's your recommendation? Stuff like that. And a couple of people I genuinely don't know. I can't remember their name. They just said like, you look pretty young and you're having like 2 weeks off from office. Why don't you do from Porto to Santiago, which is like giving you more time, and it's just doing from two is rather short. There was like, without thinking, genuinely, I'm not joking, a couple of strangers who I've never met decided that doing from Porto to Santiago, and that's how it's been decided. Next day, I spoke with work. I was like, I need another couple of days extra, blah, and that's it for me. I was looking, searching from Tui to Santiago, and then I was searching from Porto to Santiago, and then I was looking on the internet and I found that the Portuguese one, it has like combination inland coast, or you can do coast and inland, and then you can do variant spiritual, which is like kind of detour. Instead of going straight on inland, you do this detour and you take a boat, but it's a very spiritual kind of things. That which I decided like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And yeah, I decided I'm gonna do part of the coastal. I didn't actually do a lot of research. Now I'm tapping into the next episode, but yeah. So I decided to do from Porto, taking the coastal one and then merge to the inland route, then take the variant spiritual, then from variant spiritual join the rest of the pilgrimage in Padron, and then from Padron to Santiago. So I would rather now stop, otherwise I'm gonna talk about everything in one episode and you're gonna get bored. So now we reached the end of this episode. Why did I choose this route, and kind of things I wanted to actually you take it with you. Please let it go. Let go. If something bothering you, it's not easy, let it go. I will talk more about specifically how to let go, because I didn't understand this concept until I start applying it, and then until I understood it, I didn't know how to let go. And now, guys, if you want to know more about my journey and how it's unfolded, follow me to know more. Ciao, bye, love you.